Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another session of advocacy. We are excited. Why? Because number one, we're happy to be on another Thursday. That's the first thing. We're happy to bring you guys a new subject. Um, and it's called the shaken baby syndrome. We were talking to our guest Mary offline, and most of us have heard about it, but we're ready to find out more about it, the effects of it, everything about it. So tonight, of course, I have with me my lovely Crystal and my lovely Madeline. Thank you guys for joining, and we're gonna jump right in. So Murray, take it over.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm an Army veteran and also I'm a minister and a single mom to a beautiful girl that is 18-year old. She's so active in all different activity that she just like the joy in my life. I didn't know I was going to have a child, but she came and changed a lot of stuff about me. She know how to humble me and keep patient. But I'm about to talk about her injury that led her to her disability. Actually, this month is the anniversary month where I don't celebrate her injury, but I celebrate life. And October 29th in 2008, she became a victim of shaken baby syndrome in the hand of her babysitter. Um, I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and her babysitter lived in Fayetteville, who was a prior military person. So, when you find somebody and you trust them, so pretty much she took my child or whatever she do. I think lately my daughter, Kimar, she was saying like, I think the babysitter threw me on the ground too when she shook me. So it's like she was 14 months old. She was already a preemie because she came at 33 weeks. But and then when she reached a milestone and then all the milestone eating right, about to was crawling and about to walking and everything like that. So it just like a that back rephrase back to a baby state to learn how to operate life in a different situation. So shaking baby syndrome is a hard blow where somebody hold a child and just maliciously shake them like they're shaking their life around and swing them where their head go back and forth in the brain. So severe damage if the child is a preemie and just make the milestone of development and make it worse. So it mostly damaged mostly the back of her head, her eyes and everything like that. So with that, now they call shaken baby syndrome abusive head trauma. So the reason why, because the abuse of it and the head that being abused and shake and damage, it lose tissues and everything with it that cause developmental delay, cerebral palsy, intellectual disability. Some may end up walking, some may be confined to a wheelchair. It also mess up the right side of her body where only her dominant side is the left side. So her freaking moving is on the left side of her body. That means um, the left side of the brain got damaged that which affect the right side of the body. Um, I know when she first got injured, it was so funny that social service came to me first, not the doctor or anything. They was like, did the doctor tell you anything? They said, well, they found a spot on her brain. I was like, no, they didn't tell me anything. So they was like, I was on an investigation for why would I abuse my child or her? That's like the joy of my life. Um, But the babysitter did not call 911 or anything. She called me and told me, "Oh, something is wrong with your child. She keep crying." That's weird. If you crying and you a mother of 4 or 5 kids, you should know that something's not normal. That means you probably did something or somebody within your household did something to my child. And normally that's the case when somebody, the abuser or somebody abuse a child, they're trying to get the child out the house. So if the parents take the child to the hospital, the parents become liable for that injury to the child. But we do all the investigation, not only I was, the state normally they investigate the police, they investigate the parents, and also being in the military investigate the parent as well. They go through their chain of command and see if they show any sign of abuse for the child or anything like that. Which I came in scot free because they had to go to the doctors and everything at the appointment and like find out I'm not liable because why would I hurt this child? She didn't do anything wrong. And then shaking baby, um, you never know because you don't know who or what may turn and abuse a child. Many cases that I see the father, the mother, boyfriend, family members. You can even try to protect it, but sometimes you don't know. The unknown is never known until that situation happened. But sometimes the child can tell you if something ain't right. If a child cry a lot going to somebody, don't take them to that place. Keep it away.
Mm.
Keep them away from that person. Because sometimes something happened or the activity that make that child afraid.
Well, Murray, you bring up some excellent points, and I really appreciate you going back to how this happened to Kim. And I just, it's just amazing to me because you're right. You know, even I mean, and realistically, I'm gonna be honest, there are times that parents have done it. So I don't think that it's exempt from anybody doing something to a child. But it's just I feel bad that you had to go through that period of being under investigation and everything. But tell me this, before then, I know you said your daughter was 14 months. So she was walking, talking. She was calling you mommy, I'm assuming. She was going through the pottying stage. It seemed like when this happened to her, it was like a major transformation of night and day. Is that what you would say?
Yeah, it was because once she started eating and everything, and she was eating regular food. She started eating chicken nuggets before she even turned one. As soon as she had two teeth, she was a greedy child. She was a greedy child. Um, with the walking stage, trying to. I mean, she need assistant with a gait trainer to walk or support from me to help her to walk. So, and moving from pushing that little toy around, walking with both her hands and crawling, she used to crawl on one hand and one feet. I don't know what child do that as a baby. Like she was scared to get dirty. But it's like, now it's just like a still process. Got to go to the bathroom. Now it's just like in case you finish, they start going to the bathroom at 2 years old. Now you still changing diapers and trying to co-assign. Can you listen to your body to go to the bathroom? So it just, you went through one process, then you just like step back and have to do another thing. So it was like night and day. She got off a G tube. I mean, the doctors say a lot of stuff that she wouldn't be able to eat. She wouldn't be able to do none of those stuff. But she came a long way. She probably wouldn't talk. She wouldn't see, but she do have vision issues. She got cortical vision impairment. That means she have to see stuff that's lively moving or big picture of stuff in order to understand it. But she understand a lot in her own process way. So she attend Maryland School for the Blind because I think once the injury, the blood behind the right eyes after the injury take almost a year to all dried up and disappear.
Mm.
So so
I'm
she
sorry. Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
So the day the incident happened with your daughter, that's when you figured it out? Or she showed some symptoms? Or did it happen a couple of days later where you can
Well,
notice a change?
the change was that day the babysitter called me. Well, she called me earlier that morning. I think she was in the process of moving, but with pay, like you understand military pay, you get paid on the first or the day before. And then maybe 3 hours later, she called and said my daughter keep crying and stuff like that. But you a mother and stay home. Why didn't you call the police? So she was ready to. When I went there, my daughter was balling up and eyes was rolling like when she cried, she just stiffened up. So
Mm.
I had to drive from the baby's to the house all the way back to Fort Bragg to the emergency room. So she did
Mm,
not call. She was like ready to take all her stuff, get rid of all the stuff. So if you're trying to get rid of a child's stuff that you want no evidence of it, that means you did something.
right. Wow. That's
Because there was a lot of parents that one parent that had a child that having the same thing at Fulbright, but her child passed away maybe 2 years after from the injury, but it was one of her chain of command wife did it to her child. And the same thing with trying to push everything to make it seem like the child, the parent did it to the child. So sometimes single parents in the military can have it hard because you have to find somebody that is, trustworthy and everything. And when you trust somebody, then it's, yeah. Like if you
And I
do
can
get a good
relate.
person or not. Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely can relate. My husband was in the military, and when you entrust your children or your child in the care of someone else, is usually someone that you really have faith in. You feel that they are capable of caring for your child just as if it's their own. And just hearing this story and then being under investigation for something like as a parent and how other parents are out here hearing your story, how do you like as parents, like what are some of the things that well, first, my first question was like the investigation of it. Did you ever get really good answers as to what happened with your daughter so that when she was being looked at by the doctors, they had a good clue? So that's my first question.
Well, when the doctor came, they just say they find a spot, and whatever spot they find, they couldn't treat her at Fort Bragg. Womack Hospital, they had to transfer to off base hospital. So they transfer her to Cape Fear Hospital in Fayetteville. So, it take a while before you get the process and everything like that. The doctor was like, they was saying a whole different thing wrong. They think it was meningitis. They think it's something. They wasn't a different straight answer and anything like that. So my mind was
Okay.
going like crazy. But I think the detective came to me first, or the police officer, or to pretty much explain what was going on. But while I was in the day, they was like different kids that was in the same PICU at the time, and then they was banning the parents from seeing their child.
Mm.
So I was on the verge, like said, okay, are they going to ban me from seeing my child and everything like that? I didn't even know I was under investigation from the military. The only way I know is when they send me a letter and stated that they completed investigation and found me not liable for my daughter injury. Yeah,
Wow.
that's when I forgot. So
And that's
yeah,
when
I
you
didn't know.
wow. And
Yeah.
as a parent and helping other parents, what are some, like, as a parent, you're doing your best. You put your kids in the best care. But what are some of those like dangers that maybe we might not pay attention to as well? We might can overlook, or do you think the caregiver may have overlooked like exhaustion, overwhelmed, like was the baby crying or did the baby fall and hit their head? Like sometimes parents, I think we're just doing the best we can in caring for our kid, and we're trying to put them in the best care. And so what are some things that you would want parents to have concerns about?
But one thing concern, what they need to be careful. Like I think my downfall is when my daughter did fell off the bed. Most of the kids when they baby they fell off the bed and on me. The babysitter was trying to put that on me that, oh, she fell off the bed at all time. Her mom said she fell off the bed. So the mom, she was trying to put the blame on me. But the severe of the damage doesn't contribute to the damage that she received for the injury. So I mean, there's a lot of things that we can, if they're too caring for the child, if they too, sometimes if they're too nice around the child, we just have to be careful about that too, because they would try to use that and try to, we just got to be careful. I think we just, we don't know if they nice or mean or whatever acted. We never know because, some people may snap. Maybe, I guess, as parents who be trying to find maybe the cheapest way to handle our budget and everything, we find maybe a stay-at-home parents, and that's what the lady, she was a stay-at-home mom and everything like that. So when you're trying to find that, and you put their trust and think, oh, they're gonna, they take care of their child. You see how the way they carry the child, not knowing if it's not their child, they're not going to take very good care, or they don't care.
Was this the
Yeah.
first incident? I heard you say something about her falling off the bed. It was this incident the very first incident that occurred with this particular babysitter?
But she didn't. Well, the baby. Well, Kamal used to fall to bed with me when I leave, when she just couldn't keep still. She was always going. But it's a carpet. We got blankets and pillow on the floor, so it's not like she fell off a high bed. It was a low bed, and that didn't do no damage. But I think maybe the abuse was starting early. Kamal did used to cry a lot, but I'm like,
Mm.
it's okay, you know. And then her godmother was like 2 hours away in North Carolina. But if it's like an overnight work and stuff like that, I would take her there. But it's just, during the daytime, to go to PT and everything, I just let you stay there. But yeah.
Yeah, so most likely, and I say that the reason why I asked that question is because in most cases, just like abuse, any type of abuse, most of the time, that's not the first time that's happened. It's just the
Mm.
first time that you probably saw the damage, like it went to that extent.
Yeah.
But in most cases, they say any type of abuse most times has happened before. So I just, oh my gosh, I saw your daughter and I saw how lively she was and lovable. She made Morgan, she kept telling Morgan, Morgan, Morgan. They were with us at the ASA run, and she made Morgan smile. She made Morgan speak to her. She made them pull her stroller over to Morgan's stroller because Morgan wouldn't say anything. And she got as close to Morgan as she could and start touching her. So I just
Mm.
see, the lovable stance. And I just think a lot of the times people, even parents, like I said, you can become so overwhelmed that,
Yeah.
life can take you to a place. And I think when people set out, I will say people would be crazy if they set out to hurt a child, but people
Mhm.
do it all the time. But I know
Mm.
Crystal embarked on this, and I wanted to ask this. Once they moved and they investigated you, what I would love to know, like, what made them clear you? Because when they look at you, the only thing they could do is go off of things that you said. Because even in the household, as a parent, you would have to
Mm.
have cameras, like, they would have to have cameras to make sure that you didn't do that. So I would love to see how they cleared you and then how they moved on to suspecting the babysitter did something.
Well, when they move, well, the timeline and everything, I tell them. Well, my NCO, who's like my supervisor, she told me they came and asked questions. The sergeant major and everybody, they was asked question. They was calling, you know, asked how my status with my daughter. Do the seem like I abused my daughter? But they had said, well, that little girl won't even go no. I couldn't even go nowhere, and she used to just cry to be close to me. Like nobody couldn't even take her from me. It's just like she just want to be me. So like, there's no way. And the treat, the dress, the food, the way I carry her. They ask the doctor. I make all my doctor's appointment. They don't see no bruises on her or anything like that. So they investigate everything. So they go through everybody and ask and question about me. Yeah. So that's how they was able to clear me. And then
Yeah.
with my hand, I was like smaller than this, but small. And so they're like, there's no way. With a trauma, it just got like force.
So
Yeah.
that only left the babysitter. How did they begin that investigation and what came out of that too?
Well, with the investigation, the babysitter was trying to blame me, but the way, even with the bag, up to this day, with the bag and blankets that I left there. They're like, oh, I thought there was nothing to it, just like something, she was going to be back out of the hospital, but she like there wasn't no bag. So the vet, I tell the detective the type of bag it was, everything like that, and then she like, oh, she got rid of the bag, her diaper bag, because normally, I take a diaper bag over there for a week, for the whole week, instead of going back and forth diapers. Then she would have change of clothes and things like that. So. But when she started denying and say this and that, I mean, she did came up to the hospital and stayed with me, trying to figure out what's wrong. And then, not knowing no better, I was like, oh, they think it's this and they think it's that. But she like, how they don't know? But she probably knows something because she was ready to get rid of all the evidence that belonged to us. Um, so we didn't it take a while for the case to go through. I think maybe like 3 years, because during that process they put a hold on the case in favor, due to a case where a mother sell her child to a drug dealer, and they pull everybody off the case that they're handling just to focus on trying to find this other little girl and everything. um Pretty much there wasn't really no justice was served. They look at her like a first time offender. She got 2 years probation, suspended.
Mm.
There wasn't no justice. The DA did a sorry job, because he called the day before when they go into the court. Never asked us to come down so the judge could see us in person. Yeah. So, yeah. And they think like I could have drove down there. I had no problem. We sent them videotape of what she was before the injury, videotape what she dealing with now. She used to have feeding tube and everything like that. So there's no way. There's no way. She should have got 2 years suspended probation. So pretty much it was a slap on the wrist. Guess it probably like it's her first time offense and everything like that. But yeah, that's crazy. And then the statute of limitation ran out, so there couldn't be no civil suit. So it's just like I'm left with all this, and she just walk around scot free with her kids, walk around with no disability. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said the statute of limitation ran out, but wasn't that because of they stopped it? The process?
Well, I tried to explain that to the DEA, but they
Really?
just do it from the day the injury and stuff. So yeah.
So let me ask
And
you
then
this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so I'm not a mom, but I have nieces and nephews. How did you, when you found out, when you're looking at your baby and found out anyway, how did you, what was your reaction? How did you feel? I mean, really feel, you
Well,
know?
at that point, my mind, my mind was going crazy. When the doctor told me they give her 72 hours to live, I gave myself
Mm,
72 hours to live too.
mm,
So I stopped eating and everything. I think my blood pressure raised from like what 200 over 100, 100 over 200.
mm,
It was over
mm.
the triple digit. My sisters them came down. My best friend came down. They was ready to kill that lady, but I told them they can't kill her because I'm gonna need y'all out free. So I'm gonna need y'all. So, but the detective, everybody tried to get. When my sister told the detective she wanted to go kill them, they said, "Oh, we gotta get you sent back to Maryland with your family."
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I said, you want to kill somebody, but your child gonna need you too, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
my sister and my best friend.
Right.
So we can't do that. They were like, you want to give me the address for the lady? And nah, mm-mm. I- we're not going down that road. I need y'all
Yeah.
free.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they was ready. And up to this day, we want to go find her and beat the crap out of her. So, but and this is live.
But
But
this is how
that's
you
how you
feel,
feel. Yeah,
right?
you just really want, because I get mad this year. I was emotional. She should have graduated high school this year.
So yeah,
Drove across the state. Now she got to wait to 2028. Out of the '07 babies, she's the only one, got to wait a while before she graduates. So, it's heartbreaking. You see people go to the prom inauguration, like, oh my gosh, she's not going to have that because of the school she go to. So they don't do as much stuff as a regular school, but they do
right.
some stuff. But there's a milestone she's missing out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it shouldn't be. So
Well, it's
it,
great
it's
you have
it's
good
it.
groups. I mean, support, and that helps
Yeah,
a lot.
it
You know,
does. It does.
and I just so couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
But
because every day, it just, I mean, we think about, like, what if it didn't happen to her? How would she be? We do imagine, and, sometimes I think she think about it.
Hmm.
It's like today, the soccer team and everybody plays soccer, along, and they move around, they walk and do stuff. But, she got to transfer from a wheelchair to a gait trainer, get a little time, not able to, part to kick the ball, I wonder, how she feel, what's her thoughts. And she doesn't say anything most of the time. So, like, I try to imagine me being her situation and, want to do stuff. So it's hurt. It hurt at times. It's painful. It's
And I
painful,
can
but
definitely imagine that. Um, with that being said, how have you seen the effects of her? Like, how has your daughter, her growth, her development from that injury? Like, she's living with it, the person not held accountable, and here she's having lifelong um, effects of it. So what were some of the things that you started to see in her as she began to continue to grow and develop, like in her academics and the school, in her physical form? Like, I think a lot of us parents are not aware of the damage of an injury like that.
I know, I know I used to struggle with trying to teach her or to learn stuff. And, I think I was trying to teach her one day and she literally broke down and cried because I was yelling at her, I don't understand. And I'm trying to get you and see if you can understand. So that was like painful. And I didn't want to see her cry. So that was like very emotional. Like, it's not her fault that she is, not her fault that she, have this developmental disability, intellectual disability. But other cases she showed, how she learned stuff. We try to, teach her stuff through music because she's very musical inclined. So she can hear a song and start singing it with no problem. Um, she's so friendly and I like how she motivates. She's very social. She's a social butterfly. She communicate with others. And I teach her because as well, because I said, well, you verbal and most of your friends are nonverbal. So you have to try to see their movement and gesture to understand them. Because that's one thing I had to learn. Say people do have different disability, but you have to know how to communicate with them. So that's like a process where she would talk to the friend. The nonverbal, she had one friend she cheered with named Ava, and not Ava would just say, "Hey," she just, scream at him and get excited about her. So you can tell the emotion when Cameron, she would do the smile and everything like that and get so excited. Um, but she's good community, but learning is, it's a process is coming through. She wants to read, she wants to do that, she wants to do everything is possible. So I think she really handled her disability and an injury in a positive way. And one thing she loved church. She loved church. She will praise and give God the glory from her chair. She doesn't care. She listens to the word and everything like that. So yeah, that's the thing. I said one thing. I said God got her.
Yeah.
God got her. I think God got her. And, I look at like I just say she have, God gave her the best mom.
That's
to
right.
handle this situation because, yeah, he did. Because people, I mean, everybody say she's spoiled, she privileged. Like they say she privileged. I said no, she's not. I just learned how to live each day at the last day because I know
Right.
tomorrow is not promised to no one.
Mhm.
And she just a joy. I say she's my anti-depression medication. When
Oh,
I
you
go in
know,
my depression mode, I just I just get her. I say, I don't care how old you get. If I need you to sleep in my bed with me, you're going to sleep. And if I need to get in your bed with you, I'm going to sleep because you my medication. So,
well, she
yeah.
handles it well too because you handle it well. And you're right. Just sitting here, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna harp on that too much as far as the justice system because I'm not even gonna know. I don't know how I would have handled that, but there's no way. I just can't even imagine. But I love the fact that you have not allowed this to dictate your life or to dictate your daughter's life. Because, and again, I met Murray through ASA, athletes serving athletes. And I just see the way that you have her out and about. You have her involved in the community. And the good thing about it is that you could have sat around, you could have cried about it, you could have just continue to dwell on it. But God has you and He has your daughter. And I love that. I just love the fact that you took something and you made it positive. And the one good thing about all of these individuals, like even my daughter, I just love the fact that they know they're loved. I think most of these kids, most of these young adults, if nothing else, they want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have a safe place that they can call home with people that they love. I think at this point that to me means the world. That some people that are neurotypical are searching for that and can't find it. They can't find peace, they can't find harmony, they can't find love. So, of course, nobody would have wanted this to happen to your daughter. I mean, I just sat here in silence just hearing this, but just thanking God for Mary that you still have a smile on your face and you're just enduring and you're just giving her what she needs and spoiling her rotten. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I told her
Yes.
she need a job now because
So how
she,
is I know you said she's 18. I know you said she wants to read and everything. Is she able to read? Is she able to like do some like math? Because I know my daughter has cognitive disabilities where she's not able to do a lot of that stuff. So she has a ACC device. And for those that don't know, that's like assistive technology to be her voice because she is nonverbal, to tell me what she wants, to tell me what she doesn't want. Your daughter speaks, but how else has this injury kept her has it kept her from learning, has it kept her from reading, has it kept her from comprehending, has it kept her from understanding and recognizing people? Because a lot of times there's not just one disability, as we know. There are multiple disabilities, and I know you said
Mhm,
you mentioned that she has cerebral palsy. Again, there are different degrees of cerebral
mhm.
palsy. So give us a snapshot. I would say too, give us a snapshot of her day. Tell us about her day. That'll kind of sum it up for us. What Kim likes, what she doesn't like, what she's capable of, what she's not capable of.
Which day you want? Because every day is so different.
Every day is something
so,
different. Or how you've had to
so I
alter
can.
her life and your life, because this whole incident has basically altered your life as you knew it.
So yeah, because it affect me because I have PTSD and it's hard to really trust people. So it took me a while to trust people exactly until I joined ASA in 2015, and that was the first time I really started trusting people to run 3 miles when I'm not looking at her or close to her, even with school. So even when she started school at 3 years old, it took a while. I had to leave work to like go get my child. I got to be there and see her. So I mean, with the reading part, it's hard, but she tried to identify letters and words, or if I have a writing on my shirt, she would ask me, "What does my shirt say?" And sometimes I may, say the wrong thing. She was like, "No, it's not. You gotta say." But if there's one shirt, I read it. I say, "You know this color shirt, and you notice like my pajama nightgown." I say, "It said I'm a hot mess." So it's green, and I tell the color and what's on it. So when she see me, and then she asks, and I tell her something, she said, "No, it's not." So she tried to get me to read out stop for her so she can understand it. She does have cognitive disorder too. So it's a challenging for her to learn. Her CP is quadriplegic cerebral where the muscle tone tighten up and everything like that. So, try to stretch it out and do stuff. Her tone is so hard. So she had, different medication. Like she got the back of her pump to help, but that's like help with the lower extremity more. So we had to get another medication to help with the upper extremity. So one is she was like off um most of the medication. Seizures, she did have it, but she been seizure free for some years now. So, but she do have the brain wave of it. So we do the stat in case we do keep rescue medication just in case. But we pray to God that we don't have to use it. Um, so mostly in the morning I wake her up, get her dressed, try to help her, get her to help me. She do try to learn to go to the bathroom in the morning. She was like, "Oh, gotta go to the bathroom." So that routine is set. So other stuff we trying to work out throughout the rest of the day. Um, and then when I take her to school, I told her she goes to the bathroom at 6:30 or 6. And I said she probably have to go again, depending on how much she drank. If she dry in a diaper, put her on the toilet because she would go on the toilet. So some stuff she would know. The stomach ache, she would know, and everything. But normally during that time of month for women, I have to tell her you on. But if I know she says she got extra cramp or pain, then she will understand. um, she can feed herself. So when I give her oatmeal cereal, she can feed herself her food herself. So I just prepare it and then she just eat it, which I was grateful for that because normally in the past we used to have to get up like 5 o'clock. I would have to feed her, get her dressed and get me dressed. So now while she eat, I can get dressed. So that was like a plus. I was so happy when she was able to feed herself. That was the best thing. And then come up, we just mostly like she get assistance for everything on a daily base. It's hard for me to work because in case of emergency arise, I gotta be there to get her. I had to deal with the drama in the military where they said, "Oh, I had a first son where I snapped at him because said, 'We allow you to go to your daughter's appointment.'" No, you don't allow me to go nowhere. I go there because if I don't go, then y'all gonna try to write me out to failure to, take care of my child. So yeah. So yeah. But like I have to do it. It's hard. Like, because if I do a work in emergency, I'm not gonna second think. I like, look, I'm leaving, I gotta go. So pretty much I would have been unemployed if I try to work. So I build my schedule around her. My doctor's appointment is built when she's in school. So when she go to school, yeah,
How do
I
you
do all
take
my
care of
doctor's
you,
appointment.
Mary? How do you, and this is one thing that we always talk about on the podcast. We know that sometimes we have to take care of others, but how do you take care of you? Because that's important.
No, I don't know. I just go with the flow. I guess when she's at school, I try to even do some stuff on my own. Even I would come back and sleep all day until the time to go pick her up, or I do, runs, or I may just go get my nails and toes done. But she wants to go with me most of the time. So, but sometimes I even go and then I take her by herself so they can work with her and I just chill. But no, man, I did because Just the other day, I did the Army 10 miles, so that's what I do with me. I don't train that much. I wish I could train mostly, but then, I just sign up for stuff to like motivate me to do. But me just chilling in the bed and laying in the bed doing nothing, that's how I really take care of me and, you know, do my stuff. My sister will help me and she would like say, why don't you just go away for a weekend and I take care of Kim for you and everything like that. So she helped me, my older sister. She do a lot. She do a lot. I owe her because when Kim got injured, she helped take care of Kim. She did the G2 because I don't know, I do no G2. I'm not touching that. I'm scared. I was scared of a lot of stuff.
Right.
And even her son, he was 10, 11, and he was helping with the G2 more than I can.
Mm,
So it's just like I didn't know. I mean, I was working in the military and doing everything. So I missed quite a few of her life being injured because I wasn't on. And then when my mom was alive and came, my mom was helping me. And she was close to my mom. My mom passed away last year from, stroke and everything. So my sister and I was taking care of my mom and Kim. So we both was like doing the same thing. So, but Kim taking it hard because she missed her grandmother a lot. So she have that old soul. She's got that old
mm,
soul. But yeah, I just chill most of. Yeah, taking me just sleeping in the bed all day or doing nothing. That was I do, and just go for a walk or things like that to
mm.
clear my mind. I like to do that. So it used was I was a shopaholic, but I try to calm that down since the economy. But I did one time I did take because I did at one point was like I was just drinking sometime and drinking and calm breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had to have a glass of wine, but that was unhealthy. I guess that was like a depression moment, but after a while you gotta wake up and get yourself out of it and just like, hey, you gotta, that's not what if you damage your kidney, your liver, whatever, your body, how you gonna take care of your child? So you gotta be strong for yourselves in order to take care of your child that needs you. But I do teach Kim to get out, and we try to teach other parents. You have to get your kids to get out and intermix with society because when you're not there, you don't want nobody, abuse them or mistreat them, and they don't know. And I do that now at her school, and I meet a lot of kids. And, sometimes I feel some kind of way because I'm always there for my child. And I see a lot of kids probably looking like, well, why Kim mom is always here? Where my mom is at? Why they don't come? So, I feel
Right.
sad. So I just try to embrace other kids there at her school and try to, be there for them as much as her. And I treat them the same way I treat Kim. If I yell at Kim, I'm yelling at y'all. So I volunteer with a sports team and I help them out because, sometimes they need that. They need that support. We may not know, but a lot of the kids with disability, they need that support
Mm-hmm.
because they need challenging. So they like a medication for me. And, I just I volunteer at the school just to help out and be with them. And I get to understand different ability. And I said I don't mess with kids with disability because they are so smart and they can manipulate us to the fullest, to the fullest. And we may not understand, but they can and if you're going to baby
All
them, they're going to
facts.
make you baby them. They're going to make you baby them to the
Facts.
T. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I treat them like they have no this the same way I treat my niece without no disability. I treat Kim the same way. I said, y'all get the same treatment. There's no favoritism. There's no nothing. Y'all gonna get the same treatment and everything. So, but yeah, Kim is, yeah, her injury. I think it made me strong because our theme for our little group, Kim Squad, is disability is not a weakness. It's a strength.
I like that.
So it's a strength. Yeah, it's not a weakness, and if people just have to understand, and even the federal government, if they understand, like it's a strength. It take a lot, and what they do. It's a lot. We didn't ask for our child to be in special education. We didn't ask for their disability. We just want to help them to move forward and to enjoy and to have the same opportunity as others. If that's the case, we go after the person that injured them one way and let them pay for their school and their medical bill. Maybe we need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
that's
agree.
definitely go ahead, Madeline. I know you have a
Oh no,
question.
I was just saying. I know I agree, and I just as a child, a adult with a disability, my mom was a lot like you. She had me out there doing things that everyone else was doing because again, she wanted me to be a productive adult in anything I try to potentially do. But I just love the way that you are handling this, raising Kim, and she seems like a beautiful woman because actually she's a woman now, you know. But do you see anything with Kim that she wants to do, like when she gets a little older? Does she have any
I mean, most times
things
she
she
be like,
talks about?
somebody
Oh,
she want to be a soldier, work at Walmart, be a greeter. I say, well,
okay,
you need to work on your speech so you can go talk to
right,
people about disability and to get them moving up and do stuff just like you. I mean, because when I suggest something, she like, okay, I'm cool. I said, just like now the school is doing blind tennis. And I said, oh, do you want to do that? She said, sure, I want to go do that. So yeah, so and I learned there's more stuff that consists of blind tennis and wheelchair tennis. So, we're gonna and then
good,
if she wanna try some things different and things out of she do cheerleading. She competitive cheerleading with Maryland Twisters. So and she compete. They compete. So and I try to invite people, with their girls and say, oh, come join cheerleading, outside, something to you meet different kinds of people and you see
right.
the support, a different environment. Um, co- I mean, I'm competitive with them because they have team that compete and our disability team, well, it's a ability group team. They do compete and they are competitive. So I
Yeah,
try to, get her, and she like doing that. She with the running, with essay, cheerleading, soccer at school,
that's
yeah,
good.
track and field. We trying to get, and she enjoyed. I'm just waiting till she tell me which one she doesn't want to do no more, or she just, give up. So, but if she do triathlon too. So that's another thing. So
That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
I try, but then I know I'm taking away sleep from me because when I sign up and get in all these activities, I don't have no me time for me. Yeah,
That's
but
usually how it works.
yeah. hmm But I just
Well, I
do
had a
every day.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when for parents that like may have experienced this a similar trauma, like what would you offer to them that would kind of help them in their journey of raising their child? Like how can they be supportive of their child or advocate for their child as you have to help that child become a young adult or an individual in society and keep fulfilling life? What are some things that you would offer to that parent?
I like we didn't ask for this, but it's not going to be easy. But you have to be the biggest cheerleader for your child. You have to be the biggest supporter for your child because you are number one. They're going to look at you because you the one they can hear, you the one they can smell, and you the one they can understand, and they can feel your pain. So you have to be there to protect them. Like treat them as normal as possible as you can. But as long as even if you know you got to help them with certain things and some of that, but do it with love and kindness because that's what they feel. And once they feel that love and kindness, then they're going to help them to motivate and go forward in life to help somebody. Or because I see a lot of them, don't isolate your child. If you isolate the child, you are hurting your child. Isolation is not good. Keeping them away from society and the world to get involved, it's not good. You want to help them, not hurting. So even though they got injured or hurt, or even, if they're born that way or develop it, along life, you have to maintain and give them that love, because if you don't, you are going to hurt them, and their future is not going to be as fulfilling like they hope or dream of it to be. Or their happiness won't be there. They just will develop anger, and you don't want them to have anger. That's not good, because anger come abuse, attitude, problems and everything like that, and you don't need that. We don't need that with them. Yeah, because even though the world is not nice, we have to show them that it can be nice, and you just have to apply it and respect. Yeah, we have to respect our kids. That's what I tell them, and love them. That would change them.
Well, I know Kim
Absolutely.
feels the love from you. She definitely feels the love. And I see it myself. I mean, it's a hard, I think sometimes we're handed a hard situation, but it's not the worst. I always look at it like that's not the worst I could deal with. But is it something that everybody wants to deal with? Of course not. But I just thank God that you've taken the approach that you've taken, and that you have shown her the love and shown her that in spite of her disability, that she's still able to live. And I think
Hmm.
that's so important, just helping. Ultimately, this is what advocacy is showing people, that number one, we have people out here that have had some traumatic situations. However, they have taken those situations and they have soared with them. So, it's again, this is a platform to educate people about our special needs individuals, but it's also a platform to provide resources and hope for parents and individuals,
Hmm.
not just parents, but these individuals, because like you say, sometimes Kim may sit around and look at other people and wonder why. So
Yeah.
again, I think a lot of the times when they do that, that's where that love, that extra love comes in from the
Yeah.
parent, to help them
Hmm.
understand that, listen, you are not
Hmm.
missing out on a thing, because if nothing else you have is love. And I think that's why God put them in our lives. And that's my closing remarks for advocacy, because I know we're wrapping this up, but I just want to just commend you, Mary. Just commend you. Just keep on keeping on. And I just pray for you and Kim, that God continues to bless you with the strength that you need and the hope. Because there are times, and I'm glad that you mentioned even about the drinking. There are times that we lose hope. We do.
Mhm.
You may see us, and I wrote an article not too long ago for a paper that someone asked me to write, and I revealed a lot more than what I intended. Because of course I'm saved and I'm in the church, but I was
That's
struggling.
the
I
thing.
was
Hmm.
struggling. I was struggling, and in my struggles, I started drinking a glass of wine, and I didn't realize that my desire was to escape my life, and it provided an escape, but it was taking me down a down spiral. It was separating me from God. It was taking me in a place that I didn't really want to be, because I had to come back to my life. And that's
Mhm.
when you are constantly trying to escape, before you know it, you're re-indulging in that alcohol, and that's how people
Yeah.
become alcoholics. So I just thank you for being brutally honest with us, and I've shared my experience as well. So I'm glad that you came to the realization that that's not the answer, because you
Yeah.
don't, your kids need you, but we also want to live a productive life as well. And we can't do that becoming alcoholics or doing things that become substance abuse, what they consider as substance abuse. So again, I wish you well, Mary, and I wish Kim well. So those are my closing remarks. I'm gonna turn it over to Madeline, then Crystal, and then you can close us out, Mary.
Okay.
Yes, I wish you and Kim well, and truly you blessed no matter what. And I like how you turned what happened to tragedy. you turn into a blessing. It's a blessing. You know how you are with your daughter. You're strong. You're strong. You're a strong woman, and I commend you in that. And I thank you for sharing your story with us. And I hope to meet you one day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
I really enjoyed you tonight, Mary. I enjoyed that you came on and shared your journey, your emotions about you and your daughter. And one part that really struck out to me, the question Paula asked about how are you taking care of you? And as a caregiver, a lot of times we're last, because we're putting our all into the individual we're caring for. But when you said sometimes I just sleep, I just felt like you're giving your body what it longs for, just some rest. And sometimes that's just enough to recuperate, rejuvenate, so you can get up and tackle again. And I think that sometimes people look at the wrong thing of what's really taking care of themselves. And to me, I always tell people, I feel like rest is the most healing thing. It's the most healing thing. And when you said that, it made me think of the many days. I'm a mom of 5 and I have kids with multiple disabilities. And I think of the days I dropped them off at school and I came home and I stayed in the bed until it was like 5 minutes before I have to get up, put my shoes on, and go pick them up. And I used to feel guilty, like that was the most unproductive day, until I realized I was taking care of my mental and my physical, And so I thank you for that, because we have to take care of ourselves, and it looks different for everybody, but rest. And so I appreciate you. And I hope I do get to meet you one day. I'm located in Michigan, but I'm from DC and Maryland, and I would never count out a chance of us running into each other.
Okay. I can drive, I can drive and visit. I like to drive. Yeah. Thank you all for having me. I really appreciate it. So it's it's a hard journey, but you just have to, like they say, put your faith and trust in God. Growing up in church all the day live PK kid, then I had preacher, and now I'm a preacher to a kid. So Kim is actually a preacher kid too. um, and a military brat. So both of me and her dad was in the military. So um, it's it's a good opportunity I enjoy, because not only they look at me, disabled veteran, taking care of child with disability. So we just work together and try to do the best. One of us got to be strong. May not can have surgery when you may need to, but at the end of the day, you just maintain what you have to do to take care of child. Kim changed my life. She came in my life. I'm grateful for her. I wouldn't have changed it at all. I wouldn't have changed it. I wouldn't change it at all. She had been a joy. She saved me from a lot of stuff, and she saved me from myself. So I'm glad what God has put in her life, and I'm glad, the thing with the 5 mustard seed, and he gave that one with one gift, one talent, and the one gift he gave me, and I'm going to do to use that gift to reach to other. And that is what I do, reach others to improve others' life and their well-being. So thank you. And I hope to see y'all soon. One day. One day.
Exactly. And I know you said you couldn't make it to our walk, because our walk is November the 8th, guys. And here
Yeah.
is our shirt. Yes, we are so excited about our walk. We are working tirelessly behind the scenes to make our walk as special as possible. This is our first annual walk. So bear with us, because we're just turning over every rock possible to make this a success, and we're going to use this as a model to improve each year. So we thank you guys for all those that have registered. Thank you for those that have yet to register. The deadline is October the 29th. So register as early as possible so that we can make sure that we have your shirt size and we can have enough for everybody. So with that being said, guys, we thank you for another episode. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Crystal,
Yes.
Madeline. Everybody have a great weekend. We will see you next Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.